Hello and welcome to my channel, Talisman Tarot. In this reading, I want to ask the cards and spirit directly through channeling about what January will be like for you. January 2024. What will it be like? What will happen? And I have 4 groups here that you can choose from. This will be group number 1. This will be group number 2. This will be group number 3, and this will be group number 4. And so I will ask you to use your intuition and choose the group that speaks to you the most, the group that catches your eye, and that group will be your group. And if you need any more time to choose, you can just pause the video. But if you don't need any more time, then just head down to the description box below and find the timestamp for your particular group and click on that, and your reading should appear in front of you. And while you're down there in the description box below, make sure to check out my guide on how to book a personal reading from me. I love doing personal readings for you guys. It's always a pleasure. So please check that out. But let's focus on this reading right here. Choose your group and I'll see you in your reading. Hello, group number 1. You chose this Knights Templar Tarot. And I'm going to start with some channeling, and then I'm going to shuffle the cards for you. So I'm going to do the channeling now. So Spirit, can you answer this question for group number 1, the people who will choose group number 1? What will happen in January for group number 1, in January 2024? What will happen? What will the month be like? Okay, so I'm getting something about a family member. I feel like this is a specific message for some of you. So if it doesn't resonate with all of you, then just don't listen to this part. But there is, for some of you, a family member who has recently been hospitalized or is in a hospital right now. So this message is for those of you where that resonates. So the message is that this person's condition will not worsen in January 2024. It won't get worse. And I'm also receiving a message here that what the doctors said initially, what the doctors were afraid of initially, might be a worst case scenario, and it might be very unlikely that the doctors were right with their first thought, because I think they were being a little bit pessimistic. I think they were, trying to prepare you for the worst in case it would happen. I think they didn't want to get your hopes up just to crush it, So I think they tried to give the most diplomatic answer. It did seem like it was the worst case scenario. I don't know why they would, scare you by saying that, but I feel like what you're going to learn in January is that the doctors were initially wrong, but that it's still a serious condition. So I feel like this family member will still have to go through, medical treatment and possibly, some surgery or something like that. But it's not as bad as the worst case scenario that they presented in the beginning. So that's just the message. I know it's very specific, but yeah, I'm just going to cover that first. So I'm going to do some channeling again, because there was another message coming through. I just wanted to get that first one out before. So Spirit, can you clarify the second message for me? Okay, this seems like some advice for you. So if you're working with something like cyberspace, something on the internet, something with coding, or like, I know it's very, again, maybe this is also a specific message, but if you work on the internet a lot, then I feel like there's some advice here that you need to be a little bit careful, or that you need to be cautious that there might be a leak or a breach or something where it might be good to be prepared for that. Like have your antivirus system programs updated, and also just try to, like, try to strengthen the firewall or something, I don't know. But just maybe be a little bit extra careful in January, so that, so that if there is an attack, then like a hacker who tries to infiltrate or something, I don't know, then try to, make the right precautions. So also, if you don't work on the internet, like if your job is not on the internet, then maybe also just be careful on the internet. Be careful with, downloading things, installing new programs or something. Make sure that you double check everything, and make sure that you have a backup of your files. It would maybe be a good idea to change your passwords on different accounts. With the Three of Wands reversed, there might be a program, or like there might be an account that you have, something that you might have, moved on from. Like this could be job related, it could be hobby related. I don't really know which one it is. I feel like it's different for all of you. But there might be a program that, or it could be Steam. Like if you used to use Steam for playing video games, then maybe it's a long time ago since you last logged onto it, but it might be a good idea to just change your password, because maybe you have already gotten some emails about your password needing to be changed because it might have been hacked into, or like that, or something like that. If that has happened, maybe it's a good time to change your password. Also, for it if it's job related, I feel like there might have been like a project that you used to have, something that you were working on, where maybe you have kind of moved on to a new thing, but if you have left it a little bit open, like this could also be a job that you did once and then you might have gotten a new job, but maybe some of the projects that you used to do, like if you work in coding or in design or in like graphic design or whatever, like then maybe some of your older projects might be I don't even know what this is about though. I'm just like, I feel like you need to secure something so that someone else cannot infiltrate or get into some of your old stuff. I just feel like there's a lot of safety precautions that you could maybe make in January. Maybe try to just be cautious of anything that could be entered. I feel like this could also be emotionally, or like something to do with relationships. It could be like a metaphor for a relationship that you have, where you might have told someone something that you told them not to tell other people about. Like maybe you shared a secret with someone and you thought this person were a very trustworthy person, and that you could trust that they didn't, share it with everybody. And maybe they didn't share it with everybody, but maybe I feel like maybe you already know this. So this is maybe something that happened in the past. So why this is coming through in January is that I feel like maybe January could be a good month to forgive someone who might have this is I know this is a strange message, but someone who might have taken advantage of your trust, or someone where you felt like they were taking advantage of your trust, or you felt like they were doing this on purpose. You felt like they were just, allowing you to confide in them just to then use your information as gossip or something that could strengthen their own relationship with someone else, and that you felt like you were betrayed because you got in the middle of something where you felt like maybe they didn't really care about you. They just cared about, getting some juicy details so that they could share it with someone that they cared more about or something. I feel like maybe this wasn't that simple. It would have been easy if it had been that simple, because then you could have just walked away, and maybe you also did that. But I feel like maybe you didn't allow this person to completely explain themselves, and maybe that's okay. Like it's not, I'm not saying that you had to listen to them, because of course you are the victim in this, but I think they had their reasons. They were maybe doing this for you and not against you. Like they might have had some, like they might have felt like they were helping you by telling people, because they felt like you were obviously not telling people about this yourself, and so they felt like they would take matters into their own hands, and that maybe you really wanted them to tell people. And that's just silly, because if you had wanted them to tell people about this, then you wouldn't have told them that it was a secret, that they should keep a secret. So it doesn't really make sense. But I feel like a good first step to understanding what went through this person's mind when they did this to you is to ask them what went through their mind when they did this to you. So maybe having that conversation could help you move on, and maybe also understand that things were maybe a little bit more layered, even though I won't go as far as tell you that you should forgive them completely, even though I just said that. But you know, it really depends on how big of a betrayal this was. If it was a big betrayal, then yeah, then this person can go fuck themselves, and that's okay. But if it was like a small betrayal where it was something insignificant that this person told people because they didn't really believe that you wanted it to be a secret, then, well, of course it's hard to trust this person afterwards, but maybe it's not as maybe it's not that bad, that it's like maybe this person has been punished enough for that. Like, I don't know, but that's for you to decide. But I feel like in January, maybe contemplate on whether it was on whether it is time now to maybe listen to this person and give them the benefit of the doubt in some way. So, but I'm going to shuffle a little bit more about your January. What's going to happen in January? Six of Swords. It's going from chaotic, like stormy waters into calmer waters. So there seems to be a good, like, it seems like January will be a calmer, more relaxed month than December was. It seems like there won't be as much chaos going on. It will be more chill. It won't be filled with so many dramatic incidents. Like, it seems like, yeah, good. Relatively good. A good month for relaxation. I'm going to shuffle more. But not relaxation in the terms of, you know, not keeping yourself safe on the internet, like with hacking and stuff like that. Try to not be too relaxed when it comes to protecting your internet what identity, whatever. I don't know what the, you know. Two of Pentacles reversed. So this is a good thing. It gives me a feeling that this January will be less drama, less juggling, a lot of different, like, you're gonna be juggling fewer things at once. I feel like in December you might have been juggling a lot of things, and it might have been quite stressful, that a lot of different things happened over a short amount of time, where everything kind of just, you know, That it was like a snowball effect or something, where it just felt like, I feel like for many of you, you have had you've had stress, but this is going to be a de-stressing time. Like you're gonna be more relaxed. So also, well, if you're a man watching, I feel like January could be a month where you won't get laid. So if you're a woman, January might be a month where you will get laid, but maybe by someone who's a bit of a dick. So be watchful of that. Like that maybe it's just okay to maybe go celibate in this time, just for so that's the answer I'm getting here. Is if you're a man, you're not going to get laid, which is maybe a fine thing. It's okay. I feel like it's not the worst thing. And if you're a woman, you probably shouldn't get laid, because if you did, it's not going to be worth it. Like it's kind of, if you're in a relationship, then of course get laid by your husband or your wife, like that. But if you're single, then just maybe January won't be the most romantic of months, and that's maybe okay. I'm kind of feeling that February could be a better month. So like if you just wait a little bit for February to hit, then I think you would have a better chance of actually getting laid by someone who's actually going to mean something. So maybe wait a little bit if you're single. So I'm going to shuffle a little bit more. About January, I'm gonna go a little bit more into career. So, what's gonna happen in your career in January? 9 of Cups. So, well, I feel like it's going to be a good month career-wise. I think if you have a job right now, you're going to be quite secure in that job. There won't be anything that can, knock you off your position. So that's a good thing. And I feel like it's also going to be a time of learning, a time of, strengthening your skill. And I think you might also have a learning experience where you will be working with something that's a little bit challenging, but it will pay off. You will instantly get the payoff where you feel like you're actually getting some validation from the job that you've done, some recognition for it. I think you're gonna feel like you're actually doing it for a reason. It seems right. It seems like you're actually helping people. People are actually, happy with your work and stuff like that. So I'm gonna ask about love, a little bit more about love, your love life in January. 3 of Cups. So 3 of Cups is kind of the friend zone card. So that, yeah, maybe some of you will be friend zoned a little bit, which is maybe also nice in some way. It's nice to have friends. Like, we all want friends, So, of course, maybe sometimes we would like it to be more than that, but it's also good to appreciate what it is. Like, sometimes it's just nice to have someone to talk to and share your life with. And if this person doesn't want anything romantic, then maybe just accept it for what it is and don't try to force something to happen that just doesn't seem to be working out in that sense. Like, so, but I feel like there's also going to be a celebration in January, some kind of party, and I think you're going to have a good time, even though you're maybe going to be single. If you are in a relationship, of course, you're not going to be single, so don't see that as an omen for anything. But, if you are single, then yeah, I think you're going to have a nice time with your friends, and possibly your family. And I think you're going to be celebrating something, and I think it's going to be a nice time. And if you're in a relationship, you're also going to have a nice time with your partner and your family and your friends. So, but yeah, I think that's all I have for you. I don't know if I'm going to push this reading. I guess I'm going to ask a little bit about your health. Because now I talked about that family member's health, and maybe it would be nice to know a little bit about what's going on in your health, or how is January gonna be health-wise for you. Okay, 5 of Wands reversed. So that's a good thing, because five of Wands upright, it's a battle, it's a battlefield, it's people who are battling each other. When it's reversed, it's the opposite of that. It seems like things are going to be kind of relaxed, calm. Nothing seems to be out of the ordinary. Things are going to be, chill. So yeah. So yeah, that's all I have for you. Group number 1, I hope this reading was helpful, and have a great day and have a great month of January. And yeah. If you want a personal reading from me, check the description box below. If you want to subscribe to my channel, please do if you want to. And have a great day, and bye. Hello, group number 2. You chose the Wonderland Tarot deck. And I'm going to start with some channeling, and then I'm going to shuffle the cards for you. So I'm going to do the channeling now. So Spirit, can you answer this question for group number 2, the people who will choose group number 2? What will happen in January 2024 for group number 2. Okay, so first of all, I'm getting that you're going to be moving on from something in January where it's going to be nice. It's going to be like an end to a chapter. Like this chapter is going to be closed. It's going to be closed off completely. You're going to be able to move on properly. It's going to be nice. And you're going to feel a relief that something is going to be over, where you don't have to deal with this anymore. It's been a big stress factor for a long time, but this is just going to be, finished, out of sight, out of mind. You're going to move on. You're going to start something new or do something from... You're gonna have a fresh start at something where you're gonna feel like this was nice. It was nice to get away from this, to start something new. Yeah. So I'm also sensing that January is gonna be a month where you focus on yourself. Where you focus on doing what's best for you. And I think that's very good. I think maybe beforehand, maybe just earlier this year, like earlier in 2023, there might have been some decisions that you've made only to please others. But I feel like this is going to shift. I think you're going to do more decision making with yourself in mind, where you think of your own needs and what you like and your own passions. And I feel like you're also going to be pampering yourself. Like you're going to focus completely on yourself. I don't like the word pampering. I don't know why. I think it's because of the diapers. Like it kind of gives me an ick because of that association. But I'm looking for a better word. Like treat yourself. You're gonna be treating yourself, and so yeah. And I think that's going to be nice. I think it's going to be nice for you to have some alone time, maybe some me time, some time where you're going to dedicate some time for meditation, for doing something that you want to do, something that makes you happy. And I think I think it would be good for you to cherish this time, because I feel like some of you might be forced a little bit into this. I don't know if some of you have had such a stressful time in 2023 that maybe someone, or maybe I don't know if you've been told to take some time off, like some vacation time or something, because maybe you have been like working really hard. And if that is the case, I know this is maybe a little bit specific for some of you. So if you have been told to take some vacation time by your boss or someone in your family, or someone someone, I don't know, someone with authority, I guess, not your family. I feel like maybe someone in your family might have advised you to do it, not told you to, but someone with authority might have told you to take some time off. And if that's the case, I feel like it's very important that you don't see this as like a chore, that it's like, because sometimes if you get told to do something, there like the inner rebel inside of you might be like, no, I don't want to do that because somebody told you. Like, so then it's not, it doesn't, when it doesn't come from within, it seems like it's mandatory. It seems like it's something that you're forced to do. But this is good for you, though. It's a good thing, and it's just it's all about cherishing this and making the most of it, because, well, you might as well have a good time, you know. That's the worst thing that could come out of it, is that you actually enjoy it, you know. So, okay. With the Judgment reversed, in January 2024, I feel like you're not going to get judged. It's a little bit of a very direct, you know, like kind of basic interpretation of the, like a little bit too simplistic. I know there's a lot of layers, but I'm going to go with just my first initial thought is that I feel like you're maybe a little bit afraid that you're going to get judged in January. Maybe because you already know at this point that you're going to make a decision, or move on from something or someone, like that you're maybe thinking about turning your back on someone that has been a stress factor in your life, and maybe you know that this is going to have a backlash, that some people might not understand why you would make such a decision to maybe permanently remove this person from your life. And maybe they just don't understand what it is like to be you, and what it's like to be tangled into some drama that doesn't really concern you, and that you're maybe tired of constantly having to deal with a person that only takes and never gives anything back. And so I think what I'm sensing for January is that people actually will be very understanding. And I think this will come as a little bit of a surprise to you, that people will understand your decision. And maybe some people will even tell you that they don't understand how you kept on for so long, that you might be more, like might be braver than them, because in their mind they would have given up if they were you, like if they were in your place. And I feel like this is also, if you're like, if some of you are thinking of moving to a new location or starting a new job or something like that, then I think people around you will understand this decision fully, and they will really be more supportive than you think. And they will think that, or they will even tell you that they thought it would have happened years ago or months ago or whatever, but that they support it. So yeah. With the Ace of Flamingos reversed, it's Ace of Swords reversed. So it's kind of making me think of gossip. Well, when it's upright, I kind of think of gossip. well, I kind of do also think of that reversed. So there might be some gossip going on in January. Don't pay attention to it, because it might not even reach your ears. So keep the philosophy out of sight, out of mind, to also what you hear. Like if it's not in your ear, it doesn't concern you. If people are being very supportive around you, then just focus on that, because that's tangible in a way. That's uplifting, and it's buildable. It creates a sense of, these people actually want to help you, and they will help you. If you ask them for help, they will help you, and they will support you if you ask them to support you in any way. They will step up. If they then say something behind your back about maybe, like if they, I don't even want to taint the reading with this, because it really doesn't concern you what they say behind your back, because the result is the same. And the end game is the same. It like everything here, like it leads to the same destination, and so whatever, like it doesn't matter. And also the thing about gossip is that it doesn't necessarily reflect what the person actually believes about you, because someone can say something very supportive to your face, and then when they talk to somebody else, they might talk about how they're maybe, not that fond of helping you or something like that, but they might only say that because they're talking to someone where they have to somehow act like they don't like helping you. Like if there's some jealousy involved, like if you're a sibling in a sibling group and your parents are helping you, then they might have to be diplomatic when talking to your other siblings and trying to act like they aren't that fond of it, because they don't want to play favorites, or they don't want the other siblings to believe that it's something that they enjoy too much, because if they enjoy it too much, it seems like you're being favored, or like there might be other layers to it. So gossip is not necessarily the truth. It's not what people truly think. It's sometimes just what people think other people want to hear the most, and and sometimes these social games, they can, like, it can seem very deceitful when you see it from an objective point of view, but that's because all of the, like, there are just so many, like, battles for attention and jealousy, and there's all of that, and it's so don't pay attention to that. There might be like like someone might say something to you that's very supportive, and if they say something behind your back, don't listen. Don't pay attention. Yeah, I've repeated that for way too many times now. So yeah, I'm gonna move on to this card. Two of Swords. So Two of Swords is very harmonious. It's balanced. January is gonna be a very balanced month. It's gonna be filled with harmony. It's gonna be nice. So I feel like whatever might have caused a little bit of chaos in your life in December and the rest of this year, 2023, whatever has created stress and chaos and stuff, I feel like you're gonna be kind of going through a little bit of a rebirth, or like it's just gonna feel very fresh. It's gonna feel like you're leaving things, you're leaving the bad behind, and yeah. This is also a caterpillar, and the caterpillar is of course becoming a butterfly, and so there will be a transformation, going from, you know, like maybe the transformation won't completely happen in January, but of course this is also a process, and nothing happens overnight. You know, everything needs to be worked on, and certain things just take a little bit more time. So I feel like when we hit February, you could very likely, you know, transform into the butterfly, because the caterpillar is still a caterpillar in January, but it's just so close. It's so close to becoming a butterfly. And so, yeah, you're maybe not going to be completely you're not going to be moved completely on from some of the ghosts from the past. Like, it's still going to be there. It's still going to be lingering a little bit in the air, but you're going to you're going to be moving on from it, and it's still going to feel like a relief, even in January. So, and like, you can also see the moon here. Like, it's not a. It's closer to being it's very close to being a new moon. Much closer to being a new moon than it is to being a full moon, if you look at it. So, yeah. But I'm gonna shuffle a little bit more about your January. So, with the Page of Hats, which is Page of Cups, this could be a very good month for writing. If there is something that you have been thinking about writing for a long time, it would be a very good month to sit down and do that and get that done. I think you have a lot of creative energy, and maybe, like, yeah, there's a lot of creative energy in this month that needs an outlet, and writing could be a very good outlet for your creativity. Also, keeping a journal. If you don't want to, you know, write a whole novel or something, then journaling could be a good way to also get that creative energy out somehow. Like, so, and also if you are thinking about writing about some of the events that have occurred this year in 2023, then I keep saying this year. I know that probably the most of you are probably going to watch this when we're already in the next year. But yeah, so yeah, in 2023 there might have happened some things that might be very fresh in your memory right now, and it could be maybe a good idea to use this time to write it down, so that you get like the true testimony of what happened, so that it's fresh and maybe a little bit more emotional than it might be a year from now. If you wrote it a year from now, it might, you know, lose some of the some of the beautiful rawness to it, like that it's maybe very raw right now, and people like it, like people like to read very raw testimonies of real events. So yeah. So yeah, eight of wands here. So with the Eight of Wands, I feel like there will be some news coming in, probably good news, something that, like, I don't know if you're going to start something new. Like if you're moving from one job to the other, I feel like there's a very good possibility that you're going to get a new job. Like if you've just, you know, quit your job just without really knowing if you're going to find a new one, then I feel like you don't have to be worried, because I feel like you're actually going to find something. But if that's, like, I know that's very specific, so it's not going to resonate with all of you. But because I know that not all of you have quit your job recently, and so it's just, but this is also giving me a sense that there is going to be a solution to something rather quickly, maybe quicker than you thought. Like that maybe you're not hoping that something is going to just fix itself, but I think it's maybe just going to do that. That it's going to find a way, like it's just, there's going to be a way out of whatever you're moving away from, or like there will be a solution. And so it might be a little bit clumsy, it might not be, like, I don't even know what that means though, but I think the solution is going to be there. It's maybe going to be a little bit rough around the edges, but I think I think it's going to be good as soon as you, I think it's maybe going to be something that's going to be rough right now, but it's going to be your job to somehow, you know, make that diamond, the diamond in the rough, make it a diamond, you know, you know, I don't know. Yeah. So how would you know, you know? But it's just that this dog here is a little bit clumsy. So maybe this is advice for January also, that, like, physically, don't, I don't know, don't be so clumsy, but like, I don't know, it's not that, but there might be something, like a small piece of advice here, that, like, if you have, like, placed a very fragile item on top of a shelf where you know that it's maybe not a very good place to have this very fragile item, then maybe take this fragile item. I'm just talking, this is not metaphorically, like this is like, if you have a vase somewhere in your house and you're afraid that it's going to break, maybe find a better place for it so that it doesn't fall down and break, because it would be a shame if something happened, you know. And yeah. sometimes it's also good to do some, like if there's something in your house, like if you have a staircase and there might be something that isn't properly like the thing that you hold on to when you walk up the stairs or when you climb the stairs, the handle or whatever, like if it's wobbly, or like if there's like something where you know that it's gonna soon break, maybe get that fixed so that people don't get hurt, you know. It's just a precaution. Like if there is something that you know needs to be fixed around the house, that might be like a safety thing where you're maybe a little bit concerned for people's safety, then maybe get it fixed, you know. Yeah. So I do want to know a little bit more about your love life in January. So what's going to happen in your love life? With the King of Oysters, which is King of Pentacles. I don't know if you're in a relationship. If you are, then this is a good omen, because it suggests stability, security, that you're gonna feel very certain about your relationship. If you're in one, I feel like you don't have to have any worries that anything bad will happen in your relationship. If you're single, then you might find someone who might be an earth sign. It could be a Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. This person could be very secure, very stable. Could be slightly on the boring side, but this is not always a bad thing, because being unpredictable is sometimes exactly what people need, like what some people need. Like it's of course nice to have someone who's impulsive and spontaneous, but impulsivity gets boring also very quickly. It can be too much. It can end up having a, you know, reverse effect where it gets tiresome. And you know, of course it's like that some people find it to be the dream that, oh, they want someone who's adventurous, but isn't like what is adventurous though? Is it someone who goes out hiking up a mountain every morning? Because if they do it every morning, then it's always, it kind of isn't spontaneous anymore. Then that's just, you know, what they, then it's not adventurous. Then it's the same adventure every day. Like it's not, then it's not an adventure anymore. Like I don't know where I'm going with this. The point is lost a little bit, but yeah, I think someone who likes to, you know, sit on the couch, watch some television, can be just as adventurous as someone who's out hiking every day. Like, so yeah. And with the Queen of Flamingos, which is Queen of Swords, reversed, well, if you are a man and you're watching, and you have if you have a partner who is an air sign, Gemini or Libra or Aquarius, then maybe be a little bit watchful that this might not be going in the direction that you want it to. Or if this is a person that you're moving on from, then that's a good thing. Like then I think this is confirmation that you're doing the right thing. But if you are currently in a relationship with her, then and if you want this to go well, if you don't want to break up with her, or I don't know if it's a her necessarily, because it's not gender specific, but it is though. It is a little bit gender specific. But you know, yeah. So if you're in a relationship with a Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, maybe you need more communication in your relationship. Maybe you're not contributing not enough to the conversations. Maybe you're not sharing enough of yourself. Maybe you're not being vulnerable enough with your own information and just expecting this person to share their information. And it should be your cue, I feel like, that if this person is sharing something very intimate with you, they might expect you to share something intimate with them too, as, you know, leverage, I guess. Like sometimes knowledge is power, information is power, and the more information you have on a person, the more power you have on them and or over them. Then so if this person just keeps sharing with you and you never share anything back, they might feel like they have a hard time trusting you, because for the trust to build up, you need to both share equally vulnerable information. I guess that's just what I'm sensing here. So this is also the case if you're dealing with a Virgo. That was something that came through also. If you're dating a Virgo or in a relationship with a Virgo, then I feel like the message is also that you need to share more. So yeah. And it's also quite perfectly illustrated here on the card. It's a woman who's, you know, doing this, but it's reversed. And so it's like, yeah, that you need to be more communicative, talk more, share more. So but yeah, I guess that's love. I'm going to move on to well, career. And this card came through before I said the thing, but I'm going to go with it anyways because there was a reason why it came through. But I'm going to ask about career a little bit just to see if there is more information about your career in January. I'm going to end the reading soon though, but I do want to cover this too. So, okay. With the Ace of Oysters, Ace of Pentacles, a good rise, a good beginning, a new beginning of something fruitful, lucrative. So that's a good thing. I feel like you're going to have a good beginning, a good start, a good new idea for a great thing that can definitely evolve into something more. The devil being reversed is that I feel like you're gonna in January I think you're gonna be pulling out of the bondage that you've had some things that have been binding you in the past few months or in the past few years. I don't know. Maybe you felt like that you were locked into something, that you had to see something through for the sake of others or for the sake of society or something. I don't know. That you felt really, bound. And I feel like you're gonna, break free. You're gonna break free from that bondage, be your own person, and make your own decisions based on you, based on what you want. And I think you're gonna be you're gonna be making some decisions where you are gonna be selfish, and selfish in a good way, because it is your life. You don't live it for others, you live it for yourself. And other people don't necessarily know the path that you're on, so they can't advise you to do this or that, because the guidance that is most sensible for you, like the things that makes sense for you, it's gonna come from within. You have all the answers. You know your own path more than anyone. So I think January is a month where you rely more on yourself and rely on your inner guidance, and I think that's going to be good. Of course, with the 5 of Wands, well, it won't be easy to break out of something, like break out of the hamster wheel or whatever, or it's gonna be, I don't know what you're gonna break out of. I don't know what you're moving on from, but I feel like, well, in January there will maybe be some ups and downs, but I feel like mostly it's going to be balanced, because the Two of Swords was there too. So it's going to be harmonious. It's going to be balanced, but there might be some small ups and downs. Without really, it's not going to be affecting the peace. It's not going to be affecting the balance. But it's like, there will be some small battles to deal with, but I feel like it's actually going to be enjoyable, because the 5 of Wands, it's a battle that feels a little bit like a dance, where there is something entertaining about actually taking on this challenge, because it's a challenge, and challenges can be good or bad, but I feel like in this case it's going to be a good challenge. It's going to feel like more like a game, or like doing something that is a little bit fun, even though it's a little bit hard, but it has some entertainment value to it. I don't know if that makes sense, but yeah, I think that's all I have for you. Group number 2. This was also a very long reading, so yeah, I'm gonna end it here. So I hope this reading was helpful, and if you want a personal reading from me, check the description box below for more information on how to get one, and have a great day, and bye. hello, group number 3. You chose the Herbal Tarot, and I'm going to start with some channeling, and then I'm going to shuffle the cards for you. So I'm going to do the channeling now. So Spirit, can you answer this question for group number 3, the people who will choose group number 3? What will happen in January 2024 for group number 3? Okay. Nothing of significance. Okay. Things will stay the same. In a good way, though. So, okay, the month of January 2024, it's going to be a little bit uneventful, but I think it's good. It's going to be a good month. Yeah, it might be a little bit like every other month, or it might not be one of those months where you're gonna feel like you have to where you feel like you have to write home about it. Like, it's not going to be like that. It's going to be a little bit uneventful. There's not going to be a lot to talk about when people call you. Like, if your mother calls you at the end of the month, of course she might call you earlier. I'm not saying that, but if she calls at the end of the month and asks you what was your month like, you're probably going to say, like, it was okay. It was uneventful. It was just another month. You went to work every day, and then you got home and watched some television, and then that's it. Like, and that's okay. Like, it doesn't have to be one of those months where a lot of things needs to happen. Like, not every month needs to be extremely thrilling, and sometimes thrilling can also be tiresome. So I feel like it's going to be a relaxed month. So yeah, chill. I'm gonna shuffle some cards to get a little bit more clarification on what's going on in January, or what's not going to go on, or whatever it is. Six of Cups. Things are going to be, wholesome. It's going to be a wholesome month. It's just going to be nice. And you're going to wake up in the morning and you're going to enjoy the sunrise or the sunset later in the day, or like you're going to have those moments where you actually just look at something in your life and you're just like, this is actually a nice life. It's a nice time. It's the small moments that make all of this worth it. And I think you're going to really cherish the small things. And you're probably also going to be hit by some nostalgia in this month. Like, you're maybe going to be watching some old clips or some old, like, homemade videos or something, something from your childhood. Of course, they are home videos. That's what I meant, not necessarily just homemade, even though they are made at home, but it's what I'm like. There might also be something about, just cooking, homemade food recipes. Like, I just feel like you're gonna do something that's very meditative and dedicate your month to, just cooking, baking, doing some gardening, or like, I don't know, or I feel like I feel like you're going to be taking on some hobbies as well, like knitting or embroidery or trying new things. Maybe some arts and crafts, but maybe also something completely different, like something where it's just going to be something you do for yourself, like something where you want to learn this because it's something that you've always wanted to learn. So I feel like you're also going to be listening to music and maybe also learning an instrument or trying, like I feel like you're going to be trying on something like, yeah, maybe investing in an instrument, or maybe, you know, maybe you have an instrument like a guitar or something, but you might not have, you know, dedicated enough time to properly learn how to play it. And maybe this is gonna, like, maybe this month is gonna be a good month to, you know, pick up on some of the things that you wanted to do a long time ago. I don't know I'm going to shuffle a little bit more. So with the Judgment reversed, well, you might not have a rebirth. Like there won't be this great transformation in January. And that's also good, because transformation is for those who are not satisfied with their life and they need to change something in order to be more content. But I feel like most of you are actually quite content with where you are in your life. And you're maybe not looking for a change. And maybe that's good then, that things are going to stay the same. Because why change something, or why fix something that isn't broken? If you're happy, and if you wake up every morning, and if you wake up in a way where you're actually not hating what you're going to be doing for the rest of the day, like if you go to work and you're not like getting sick because you're like so tired of your job or something like that, then you're having a good life. Then you're having a better life than a lot of other people, you know. So I feel like you're going to be quite content, and I think you are content right now, and so it makes sense that I feel like you're also quite happy, or all right with the idea that things are going to be, you know, the same in this month, like that there won't be too many big changes, because that might not be something that you're interested in, or even, you know, that equipped for at the moment. Like maybe you just want to relax a little bit and have a nice time and watch some television and maybe learn the guitar on your own terms or something, but not like if something big was to happen, like that would kind of just overshadow everything, and then there wouldn't be any time for small projects that you set for yourself, like so. Yeah, with the Ten of Swords reversed. Came out reversed. I feel like this is going to be a healing month. A month where the swords are going to be, you know, getting out of your back. Like, you're gonna have, like, I feel like it's good that there's gonna be some peace and quiet, some time to contemplate, some time to meditate, some time to just be yourself and, like, yeah, and figure some things out, and, you know, and learn some new things, and just heal yourself, and without having too many expectations for yourself, which is also maybe something that you've struggled with in the past, that you might have expected too much of yourself to the point where you might have burned out a little bit. And maybe it's good to just have a month where you don't have to live up to some crazy expectation. So I think it's going to be nice, a nice month. I'm going to shuffle. I'm kind of going to be a little bit more specific and ask about your love life in January. Two of Cups. It seems like if you're in a relationship, I think your relationship will be very balanced. If you're not in a relationship, it kind of comes as a surprise to me that this card would come out, because of course, if you're single and you're actually going to be in a relationship, then I feel like that's going against my initial thought that this would be an uneventful month, because if you're going to find someone, then that would be an event, you know. But it does, you know, fit into the whole wholesome vibe of the month. So if you find love in January, which I feel is maybe slightly unlikely for some of you, or most of all because I just don't really think you're going to prioritize looking for love. And maybe that's one of those cases where, like, when you stop looking, then it's going to find you, or like that you're not supposed to find it, it's going to find you or something. I don't know. Maybe you... But if love is going to come into your life in January, then I think there are very good, you know, indicators that this would be a very wholesome thing. It doesn't seem like a bad thing. It could be a very healing experience. And if you're in a relationship, then it's a very good omen for this relationship, that this is a relationship that's going to last. I'm going to shuffle a little bit more about your love life in January. Okay, Three of Pentacles. It does seem like, well, this could indicate that you're going to be more focused on your on your work to the point where maybe like this could be two things. It could be that maybe you're gonna prioritize that over your love life. That career is gonna come first, and then love life is gonna come second. But it also could indicate that if you're gonna find love in January, it's likely that you're gonna find it at your workplace, or if you are in school, then you could find romance or find love at your school. So that, I don't know. But yeah, so I'm gonna ask a little bit about career specifically. So I'm gonna move on from the love question and go straight to career. So I'm gonna ask about what's gonna happen in your career in January. Well, Two of Wands reversed. I feel like you're not gonna be thinking of moving to a new job or starting a new job. I think you're gonna be quite content with just staying where you are, and that you're not gonna be looking for something new. With the Tower, it came, well, first of all, it fell to my lap. So it almost fell to the floor. And when a card falls to the floor, it's what you need to get rid of. So I always read that position as a position. Like the floor position is the trash bin, you know? So that is what you need to trash, what you need to get rid of. But if it falls to my lap, I haven't really decided on that position. I think it's because I haven't really, I haven't experienced that one before. I kind of need to figure that out. I guess what would fall into my lap would be maybe the step before the trash bin, you know, or the trash bin before you go to the container, you know. It's maybe like you know, when you put like when you delete a picture on your phone and it goes to the trash bin, but then you can, you know, there's still another step to completely delete it by emptying the trash bin. Well, this could be like a sign that if you're deleting some pictures, then maybe think twice before you delete it completely, because there was also like the nostalgia card before. I feel like maybe there are some memories, some old pictures that needs to be saved, and maybe needs to be properly saved, because if they get deleted, they get deleted forever. Like, or if they get contaminated, like if there's something that, like if there's a fire or something, I'm not saying that there's going to be a fire, but like I'm just saying that it's good to have a backup, like, of everything, that maybe I don't know, maybe make a copy of something, like if you, I don't know what this is even about though. But the Tower came and it felt okay. So with the Tower, The Tower is like it is something that needs to be, taken down. But it's like a good thing. So it's like a breakdown of something that was built up on a foundation that was shaky to begin with. But this card, it fell. So it's not really, the thing is that I feel like some of you are thinking right now that you want to make a big move, make a big change. You need something new to start in your life. And this is going against the whole vibe of this reading. And like I feel like for January, I feel like things are going to stay the same. It's going to be status quo. But maybe right now you're kind of like a little bit sad about this, or a little bit annoyed with this, because you feel like, well, you need this new change. You want something more than this. This is not good enough. It's just not enough. And that's okay. That's understandable. But maybe since like this big change of whatever you feel like is built up on a bad foundation, shaky foundation. Maybe you feel like your career, like maybe you've chosen something like a job or a career where you feel like you never really that you might not have done it in the proper way, or you feel like it wasn't really handed to you in the right way, or maybe you feel like you got it in a way that isn't as respectable as other people. Like if you've gotten a job kind of through nepotism, for instance. I know this is very specific for some of you. Like if you got your job from your mother, like, or your mother put in a good word for you, and then you got a job, then you might feel like you have some imposter syndrome where you feel like you only got this job because of your network, people that you knew who helped you get it, and maybe you feel like you want to start over somewhere else where you actually get hired because of your qualifications and because you earned it. But the thing is that you have earned your position, as the position you have right now. It's still earned. It's still like you're still good at your job, even if you got your job in a way that you would have preferred it to be different. Like if you prefer it to be, it's like the answer is not to start over somewhere else. That's just what I know it's very specific, but I'm definitely getting some imposter syndrome nonetheless. I feel like even if it's not nepotism, it does seem like maybe you feel like you go to work and you're not really sure if you're good enough, or you're afraid that other people don't really respect you, and that maybe if you could do it right then the next time, then you could get the respect that you want instead. But I don't know. But maybe get rid of the idea that the grass is greener on the other side. Maybe just stay where you are, because I think, well, I think you are in a good position. I think things are not as bad as you think. And if you were supposed to, you know, make a big move, change to something else, then the Spirit would have given you a push. Then God would have given you a push. Then things would have somehow gotten messed up, and you would, like, because fate has a big say in this, like if you weren't supposed to be where you are right now, then this option would not be available to you. Then it would be taken away from you in order to push you to another place, to another. I'm not saying this in a way where you just have to, you know, stay where you are just because of, you know, fate or whatever. Like, but, well, maybe I'm saying that, but for now at least, not forever necessarily, but for now, I think it's maybe good to just stay put. So, and maybe it's also just good to have some healing, some, because maybe you've had some rough times in the past, and this, well, this card here, like, it fell to my lap, and that's isn't that, like, I don't know if it's the root chakra, or the, what's it called, the sacral chakra, or I don't know. But maybe if you're into that sort of thing, the chakra healing, then maybe focus on your sacral chakra or your root chakra, or both, you know. So, but yeah, but I think that's all I have for you. Group number 3, I know it might be a little bit underwhelming, and of course it's never nice to hear that everything is just going to stay the same, but you know, it's better than if something horrible would have happened, and that's not the case. So, you know, it could have been worse. Like, status quo is good news, you know. So, yeah, but that's all I have for you. Group number 3, I hope this reading was helpful, and have a great day. And yeah, if you want a personal reading from me, check the description box below for more information on how to get one. And have a great day, yeah, and bye. Hello, group number 4. You chose the Alcohol Tarot deck, and I'm going to start with some channeling, and then I'm going to shuffle the cards for you. So I'm going to do the channeling now. So Spirit, can you answer this question for group number 4, the people who will choose group number 4? How will group number 4's January be? What will it be like? What will happen in January 2024 for group number 4? Okay, I'm sensing that you're gonna be kind of like a shepherd, like, and I don't, yeah, it's metaphorically, I think. So I don't know if you're gonna be, you know, keeping track on the people in your life. I feel like you're gonna be maybe a little bit more social in January 2024. Like, I feel like you're going to be calling some of your family members or some of your friends and keep a little bit track on them, make sure that they're okay. I feel like you're also going to be protective of your herd in January. I think you're gonna be protective, maybe especially of one person that really needs your protection. Someone who might not have had it easy at any point in their life. This person might sometimes feel very excluded. And I don't know if people do this because they are being mean or because they just don't think about it. But I think this person really takes it very personally when they get excluded and when people don't think about them, especially when they don't get invited to a party or something. They get really sad and they feel like nobody cares about them. And I think you know very well how this person feels, because I think you are very intuitive and very empathetic, and I think you can really tell that this person is having a hard time and that this person needs friends or family right now. They need someone to know them. They need to be known. I don't even know what that means, but I think they feel like nobody really knows them and nobody really cares to get to know them. And I think you're gonna be taking on the role as the person who's gonna get to know this person. Maybe you already know them, so maybe it's not gonna make sense to all of you, but some of you are really gonna, take matters into your own hands and maybe also put other people in their place, or like make people understand how hurtful it actually is for this person to not get invited to something where everybody else is invited. Like that is distasteful. And I think you've always known that this wasn't right. And you've maybe been a little bit passive about it, where you didn't really feel like it was your place to point this out. Because I feel like for some of you, this has been an ongoing theme for years or maybe months. I don't know. But I feel like it's something that has been weighing on you. So I feel like in January, maybe you're gonna burst that bubble. Like there might have been someone who's just been doing everything that they wanted to do. Like they've never been really thinking about others or taking care of others, or maybe, doing things that are maybe gonna make them feel a little bit uncomfortable for a little while, but it's gonna make wonders. It's gonna mean the world to somebody else. And I think this person, like there is someone who's just not very good at, being inclusive and seeing the family. I feel like this is the family. I feel like this is someone in your family, because I feel like it's like a family, a family union that needs to be a proper union, because it's not a proper union if someone isn't invited to something. I don't know. But this, I'm going to move on from this because it seems like a very specific message. So I'm going to maybe channel something else, like some, if there's anything else here that group number 4 needs to know about January. What's going to happen in January for group number 4? I feel like you're gonna have a very a very good month. I think you're gonna have some fun with friends and family. I feel like you're also gonna have a celebration. Of course, it might be that celebration where everybody's gonna get invited, but one person. And I feel like this is gonna be a very good time to put your foot, like step your foot down or whatever, put your foot down, or yeah, that, and say that this is just not something that is all right. Like, it's not the right thing to do, and it's silly to have all this fun while someone is crying at home. Yeah, it's very sad, really. But I think it's gonna be a good time to it's a good time for a change. Yeah, the Empress reversed. Well, I think I think maybe you're gonna be a little bit masculine about this, and that's good, because maybe you need to be a little bit masculine in order to talk to this person who is maybe a masculine. It makes no sense, but it might make sense if you want it to, or if you try really hard. I guess what I'm like, I feel like if this person who is trying to be exclusive in the family, or this person who's trying to kind of make some division, like divide the family into two, because it makes sense for them, or like because they want it to be divided, or I don't know, but or maybe just because this person just doesn't like this one other person and can't, stand this. Like if it's brothers, like if it's your dad and your uncle who just can't stand each other, then maybe you've been trying to reason with your dad by talking to their feelings and emotions, and trying to like use your empathy and intuition, and maybe you wanted it to rub off on your dad, if this is the scenario, but I feel like maybe your dad is such a hyper masculine person that maybe talking feelings doesn't really work. It might be better if you come up with something more. I don't know what it could be, like something more rational, something that makes more sense to your dad. Like maybe if you could come up with, a metaphor, or, compare it to another situation, or like try to compare it to the Second World War, or try to, compare it to something political. Like I don't even, like if you just take this micro thing like this and macro it into something bigger, like in order to just make your dad understand what it, like you could go with like a country, like talk about how maybe your dad is being a very exclusive country, you know, and, you know, I don't even know what scenario could make sense. Like, just try to come up with some kind of historical event that somehow reflects your dad's behavior, so that your dad might understand what he's doing wrong. I don't know if this is going to work, but it's worth the effort, I guess. So. But I'm gonna shuffle a little bit more, just about your, not about this, just about your January in general. What's gonna happen in January for group number 4. Okay, with the glass of wine, which is Ace of Cups. And Knight of Spears, which is Knight of Wands. Well, I feel like your January is going to be filled with good social interactions, but with a Knight's Challenge. It says Knight's Challenge on this spear here. And so there is a challenge of being a knight, like being a knight in shining armor, getting in to the hero role, which I think you're going to try to get into in January. I think you're going to try to be the hero, try to be the one solving some issues, maybe within your family or maybe within your friend group, or like, because there will be someone who's going to be a damsel in distress. It's not necessarily a woman, it could be a man, but it's someone in distress, someone who feels left out, someone who feels like maybe this person feels a little bit bullied also, and maybe it's a good time. Like maybe this January is going to be a good time to point out the injustice that is happening. That it's maybe a good time to put a lid on the nastiness that's going on around you, that you have been passive about for a little while, maybe because you didn't really want to get on someone's bad side, maybe because you know that, well, if you get on this person's bad side, they might just react by not inviting you to anything, because that's obviously happened before. Like, so I get why you would feel like there's too much at stake, because this person is someone who just blocks people and just walks away. Like, and I don't know, it seems like this person is terrible at forgiving people and terrible at, you know, I don't like and I understand why you wouldn't want to poke the bear, because yeah, poking the bear could be the end of you getting included in something that's pretty big, like especially if it's your family. Like, you can't just get excluded from your family, but it seems like you can. Like, but you can't though, even though it seems that way. But I don't think you're at risk of getting, you know, cancelled in your family. Don't be so afraid of that, because it might have happened to someone else, but it won't happen to you. mostly because I feel like you're closer and you're more likable, and likability is a big factor in this, because I feel like this person who might be excluded, this person who keeps getting uninvited, there is maybe a reason, but the reason is a little bit petty. But there's also like there's a petty reason, and then there's like the underlying reason that's the actual true reason is probably just because this person is a little bit annoying and maybe might rub your dad or whoever this is, rub this person the wrong way. And that is a big factor here. And I feel like you're not rubbing anyone in the wrong way. So you're not really at risk. You're not annoying. You're not, So, but of course, with being a knight, being a hero, there is a challenge, and that challenge is that, of course, you're like, if you poke the bear, you're gonna you're gonna have a little bit of a battle. Like you will have to argue your case. You're gonna have to convince that person to stop excluding this other person, and you're gonna have to, really make this person understand that it's really hurting this person's feelings, without really talking about feelings, which is a really hard thing to do, because your best argument is that this person is hurting feelings, and feelings are getting hurt. Like if this person doesn't want to talk about feelings, it's gonna take some convincing, and you're gonna have to try some different approaches, and not all of them are gonna work. But as long as just one of them works, then it really doesn't matter how many attempts that you're gonna have at this. So. I feel like you're going to be successful, though. I feel like you're actually going to make some great changes in January within the family dynamic, or the friend group dynamic, or I just feel like it's a group of people. I don't know if it's your family or friends or colleagues or whatever, but I feel like you're actually going to make a difference in this dynamic and make it a little bit more comfortable, so that no one feels left out, which is nice. It's a good thing. Yeah. And if you can make a small difference for one person, that's like, then you've changed the world. It's such a big, such a small thing that makes such a great impact. Like you can, like it's, if that makes sense. It's not a small thing. I'm not minimizing it by saying that, but it feels like a small effort, like in the grand, like if you look at it from a grander perspective, it's like from a, I don't know. But I'm gonna shuffle and be a little bit more specific about some themes, so I'm gonna start with love life, your love life in January. Okay, with the Tower reversed, it seems like there's not going to be a Tower moment. There's not going to be a moment where like there's going to be a lightning hitting. And lightning is well, what I'm getting at is that maybe it's going to be a little bit uneventful in your love life in January 2024. That maybe you're not going to be struck by lightning, in the sense of, you know, falling madly in love with someone, but there might be something that's going to be like, I feel like if you're in a relationship, I think it's going to be nice, quite straightforward, nothing like, no big you know, no big drama stuff, you know. It's going to seem very smooth and just, you know, relaxed. But if you're single, then like, I'm sensing two things here, and that is that either maybe, well, maybe you're gonna stay single, or you're gonna find someone where you're not gonna be completely in love with this person, but it might be one of those things where there is some potential for falling in love later on, and well, that is the reality of life. Sometimes we meet some people, or a person, or usually we don't meet more than, well, yeah. So yeah, you're gonna, well, what I was trying to say was that sometimes we meet a person and this is a great person, and like, we don't really feel the spark though. There's no like, it doesn't feel like, you know, like there's too much at stake, which is also very nice, because it makes us like, it makes us more comfortable when there's not too much at stake, because that kind of crush, if you get a crush on someone where it's like, so it seems so serious, it seems like you need to make it work, because it's like the best thing ever. Like, but if you just find someone and you don't really have a crush on them, but it seems nice, it seems, you know, chill, it could develop into something something bigger, and something marriage, like it could even have like some marriage material to it. But yeah, I don't even know. So don't get too hooked on the idea that if you get in a relationship that you have to feel the spark right away, because you don't really have to. Like, you might be one of those people who fall in love with like, what's it called? Like, there's a word for it. When someone falls in love later on, like when there's a bond that has been created. I don't remember the word, but maybe you're one of those, and maybe that's okay. Like, maybe you feel like there's something wrong with you because you haven't fallen in love with someone properly. Maybe you feel like you've never really had a romantic experience like you hear in books, or like how you or yeah, whatever. Read in books, sorry. You hear books too, you know, in your head when you read them, so that wasn't completely wrong. But yeah. Some people don't, and I don't understand how people cannot hear a book when they read them. Like, how can you read just with your eyes? makes no sense. But I get that it's faster, and I don't even know why I'm sorry. I'm a little bit sick, you know. So my brain is a little bit, you know, feverish. So if I'm talking gibberish, then that's the reason, or like at least I'm trying to, you know, pin it on that. What was I talking about? You know, I don't. But But yeah, if you feel like you haven't really had that romantic experience that you read about in books, there's probably nothing wrong with you. Some people have a more need of trust, where they need to trust the person fully before they can give themselves fully to that person. And falling in love with someone is something that needs a lot of trust. You have to trust the person to fall in love with them that deeply as is like described in books. And not everyone is that keen on just, you know, falling in love. Like it takes like a lot. It's kind of like, you know, those exercises, the trust exercises, where you fall and someone grabs you, and you have to know that this person is going to grab you when you fall. If you feel like you don't really know that, then you're not going to fall in love with them. And in order to get there, you have to trust that person fully, and that's okay. And then, like, when you trust them, if you feel that spark at that point, then it's about going forward with this. Then you have, but don't completely, don't doom a relationship in the beginning just because you don't feel the spark. Because maybe you're just not that. Maybe that's just not how you work. Maybe you're not the sparky person either. Like maybe, I don't know. Well, but with the Ten of Spirits reversed, I'm just going to change the subject. So Ten of Spirits reversed. It's Ten of Swords reversed. I feel like January is going to be a healing month for you. You're going to be, you know, taking out the swords that has been maybe placed in your back by somebody else or by life. I think this is going to be a month where you're maybe also going to come to terms with some things in a way to accept them, but also in a way to move on by not forgetting, but by, you know, remembering, but accepting what you remember, and accepting that it's a part of you. It's something that will always, that you will always carry with you. It's going to be a part of your baggage, and it's all about just like, because if you just act like it's not there, then, well, how are you gonna listen to your body, listen to your, like, I don't know, I'm sensing that some of you have some trauma from the past, and some days you will probably have good days and bad days. If you have some PTSD or something like that, I don't know why I'm going down this road. I didn't really feel like this was where I was heading in the beginning, but I guess that this is where I'm going now. So yeah, if you have some PTSD or some trauma, I think there is this whole idea of the healing completely, that you have to just heal completely, and that this is the perfect way to do it. But healing can also be to accept that some days are going to be bad days. Some days you're going to be thinking about something that happened to you, and some days it's going to affect your whole day. And instead of getting so angry that this was not a productive day, or that this day is ruined, and like instead of looking at it that way, you could instead look at it as, well, this day was a bad day, or this day is a bad day. Like if you wake up in the morning and you feel bad, like then just dedicate that day to it. Don't expect too much of yourself, and accept that things are tough and it's hard, but that it's not going to go away just because you toughen up, and it's not going to make it it's not going to make it better to act strong and be like, oh, I'm above this, so I'm not going to let it affect me. I guess there's also some healing in just accepting that, well, okay, this day wasn't great. Maybe I'll just make up for it tomorrow. And if I don't, then that's also okay, because, whatever. Like, I know that of course we have jobs and stuff to do, and we can't just say that all the time, but like in the incidents, in the times where it actually can be done, to just accept that it is what it is, then like do that. Like, I don't know. I feel like people have this perfect image of how it's going to be to heal properly and just be completely moved on from everything that was bad. It's just not what I don't think that's how it works. But and that I feel like some people feel like there needs to be a time frame, that they have to heal in a certain amount of time, and that everybody else is somehow healed after a few years, and that they are sacking behind. But there's just no time frame to healing. Like it's an ongoing thing, and it's probably going to be like something that you're going to somehow be affected of, and like your whole life. And healing is forever, and you're going to have to heal forever, because healing is a good thing, and it's not a bad thing. It's a good thing that it's going to keep on forever, because it's self-care, and it's I don't even know what I'm talking about. So whatever. But I'm gonna shuffle. So yeah, with the Knight of Pentacles, Knight of Daggers, reversed. I feel like the month of January is going to be a month where you're going to be a little bit more spontaneous than you have been. Like you're going to be taking a little bit more risks. And I think it's going to pay off. I think sometimes we, don't take risks because, we're afraid of the outcome. We're afraid that it's not going to be the perfect outcome. And I think you're going to leave behind some of the perfectionism, and maybe do some things that are a little bit on the edge, but it's good. It's going to, I think you're going to be happy with it. And also, I feel like it's also going to be when you deal with your family or friends, or like taking some risks, daring to say what's on your mind. I think it's going to pay off in the end, and I think it's going to do some good. So yeah. But I think that's all I have for you. Group number 4. I hope this reading was somewhat helpful. And if it was, please subscribe to my channel. And if you want a personal reading from me, check the description box below. And have a great day, and bye.